This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Since the article in The Atlantic was published about Donald Trump calling dead soldiers and Marines losers and suckers, I've been asked a lot, both in YouTube comments, but on Twitter. I've been private messaged about it because I haven't said anything yet. And I didn't really plan on it because it seems to me that it's self-evident how I feel about not just Donald Trump in general, but as a former Marine, as a United States Marine Corps veteran, how I would feel about his comments. But because there's been so many requests for me to talk about it, I decided to do it. And because today is Labor Day and a holiday, I didn't figure there would be a lot of news anyway. So I want to talk about this. Obviously, it is offensive. Anybody who has served and has any sense of pride in that service would be outraged that the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces would be so callous, disrespectful, and frankly stupid about the topic. And Donald Trump is all of those things, but he's all of those things specifically about the military, which is extra egregious because he claims to love the country so much. He literally hugs flags like a f***ing idiot. His faketriotism is on display constantly. Talking about his reverence for the national anthem. We must respect our flag and our troops, while doing the exact opposite in private conversations. We shouldn't be surprised. But the role of Commander-in-Chief is a special one. When this country was founded, it was set up intentionally to have a civilian at the head of the military. And our presidents are that. They are a civilian commander-in-chief. And it is disgusting for a commander-in-chief, the head of the United States Armed Forces, the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard now is actually military and not the Department of Transportation like it used to be. All of these branches of selfless men and women who give of their lives and sometimes ultimately do give their lives in service to their country. We have cemeteries filled, thousands of graves, monuments to the selfless sacrifice that countless Americans have given their country. And Donald Trump stands among them. And it perplexes his mind. How could someone give of themselves like this? What's in it for them? It tells you everything you need to know about Donald Trump. For him to not want to go visit Ain Marne in France, a monument to selfless service to the United States and the world, in fact, during World War I, the Battle of Belleau Wood, and others. But specifically that battle matters to me because I'm a Marine. That is the battle, the famed battle, at which Marines were given the nickname Devil Dog. In German reporting, astonished at the ferocity of the fighting of Marines generations behind me, in front of me, rather. And here we are, Donald Trump, a woefully stupid man, has a literal elementary understanding of history. Walking through grave sites, asking who were the good guys in this war. The commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces asking the question, who were the good guys in this war that the United States was a part of? Why would the United States hitch their wagon to the Allied team? It's unbelievable. Except it's not unbelievable. We have witnessed Donald Trump's contempt for service members. People like John McCain. I like people that weren't captured.
That because I don't like losers. But Frank, let me get to it. He hit me. He's not a war hero. He's a war hero. He's a war hero.
5.5 years.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people that weren't captured, okay? I hate to tell you.
There are other reports, though, of Donald Trump. Well, first of all, he's a liar. He's absolutely called John McCain a loser. And loser and sucker is in his vernacular. It's part of his makeup to use that kind of language. Why would anyone suspect he didn't say this? But in Mary Trump's book, his niece that just wrote the book about him, and The Family Matters, there's a moment in it where she's describing being cut out of the will, out of her grandfather's will, Donald Trump's father, Fred Trump. And in it, she's lamenting why did he do this? And I'm going to read an excerpt from it, but I wanted to give a preface of what exactly is being talked about in this moment. At our first meeting, when we asked Rob to explain why my grandfather had done what he had, meaning cutting her out of the will, Rob said, listen, your grandfather didn't give a shit about you, and not just you, he didn't give a shit about any of his grandchildren. We're being treated worse because our father died. I said, when we pointed out that our cousins would still benefit from what their parents were getting from my grandfather, Rob said, any of them could be disowned at any time. Donnie, meaning Don Jr., was trying to join the army or some bullshit like that, and Donald and Ivana told him if he did, they'd disown him in a second. Why would you disown if you revere military service? Listen, this isn't about just a father or a mother who is worried about their child and the danger that is inherent in military service. This is about pulling your financial support, substantial financial support, disowning your child because they want to serve their country, or they even brought it up as a prospect. That is not reverence for the military. It seems to me that this is shame, that it would be shameful if he had a son who stooped as low as military service. Not only that, Vanity Fair a year ago uncovered the prenuptial agreement between Marla Maples, Donald Trump's second wife, and he. And in it, there was a clause for when he would cut off child support. I'm going to read from the Vanity Fair article. Trump also would stop making $100,000 child support payments for Tiffany when she turned 21. The agreement states that Trump's payments would cease earlier if Tiffany got a full-time job, enlisted in the military, or joined the Peace Corps. Now, on its face, this could be taken as, yeah, she's getting a full-time job. She's no longer a child. He's not going to pay child support. But what rings in my ear is that there are three things outlined here. If she got a full-time job, enlisted in the military, or joined the Peace Corps. That tells me, because they had to delineate those, that he doesn't believe being in the military is a full-time job. Otherwise, they just would have said full-time job and left it at that. He has a low opinion a lesser opinion of the military. And it seems to me, I'm hoping, that my brothers and sisters in arms will start to notice this, start to onboard this information that Donald Trump is in it for himself. He's a vile, sociopathic freak with no interest other than his own interest. He doesn't care about you. He uses you, brothers and sisters, as a prop, as a mechanism to gain political power, like most Republicans. So that is what I think about this. When I think about the miles, the hundreds of thousands of square acres with gravesite after gravesite, tombstone after tombstone, rolling hills, a monument to selfless sacrifice that Donald Trump does not care about. He calls them losers and suckers. Our time has come to put someone in office for whom we can be proud, for whom we will not feel some low-grade anxiety that he's always going to do something to embarrass our country, who will put service members and their families first, not use them as a prop. Anyway, I would love to know what you think. If you're a veteran, I would like to know what you think. But everybody, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Hope you're being safe. You're not out there at the beach. You're not crammed into some barbecue somewhere. Wear a mask. Take care of each other. Be genuine. And again, take care of one another.